All right, the race to file your income taxes, it's over yesterday, but now it's time to take one more look at what you filed for ways to save money next year. Always here with the things you need to know is lifestyle lawyer Shari O, and I want to thank you for joining us. And when we're talking about saving money, possibly, that's going to perk some people's ears up.
That's true, but when we talk about tax returns, people check out. We know that.
Yeah. Well, don't check out just yet because, most of us are just happy to be done with our tax return. The last thing we want to do, look at it again. But if it can save us money, we're for it. So what sections of your tax returns should we be reviewing for next year?
Well, that's a good question because we use different tools at different times of the year. For example, in December, we talk about prepaying as many expenses as you can to offset the income. This time of year, we're going to be looking at the income sections, we're going to be looking at withholdings, and we're going to be looking at the refunds for opportunities to save when we file next year.
Okay, very nice. Top ways you can save when we look at for the income side of tax returns.
Sure. We're going to keep this simple, Mike. For most of us, income comes down to our paychecks and our savings and investments. So when it comes to our savings and investments, we're going to look at line 8 and 9 on the tax return that shows you your interest and your dividends. And here's the thing, because interest rates are going up and the market's been doing good, most folks are going to find that the numbers on those lines are higher than they have been in the past, and hopefully they'll continue to go up as the economy recovers. The thing with that, though, is that you're going to owe more taxes. Yeah. So the top underutilized strategy there is sometimes called harvesting losses, and essentially what you want to do is pull out your investment statement, look for stocks or investments that you would consider selling, and then watch those to see losses, because you can take those losses and offset it against some of the income you're going to pay on the gain at the end of the year. The thing is, none of us like to sell at a loss, but if you do the math, you may actually end up with more money in your pocket if you take the loss, not have to pay the tax, and then reinvest that money in something that's going to do a little bit better. The most underutilized tool when it comes to your paycheck is not maximizing those retirement savings. So there you want to look at line 7 and line 28, depending on if you are self-employed or employed, and make sure you're making the top contribution that you can.
I know a lot of people taking notes out there right now. Let's talk about our last question, the expense and refund or amount owed sections.
Yeah, and here's the funny part. We were just talking about refunds before we went live. The average refund in this country is $2,000. Most people get their refund check and it's a party. They're happy. But here's the thing. You actually loan that money to the government interest-free for the year. So a big refund is not necessarily a good thing. It means that you're not keeping as much money in your pocket. Right. So you want to make sure that you adjust your withholding. You can go to irs.gov and look at their withholding calculator and do that, and make sure you're not loaning the government money for nothing.
Yeah, a lot of fatigue out there, people filing and everything, but if you have one more last little push, you can set yourself up for a nice refund.
Exactly. It can make a big difference, thousands of dollars a year.
Absolutely, and we're talking money, and that's good news. All right, Shari, thank you for joining us as always.